Sean Clement here from Wisdom in Golf, on location at the Richmond Hill Golf Learning Center in Richmond Hill, Ontario. And I've got a fabulous little drill set here. The question I often get on YouTube is, how do I prevent early extension and how do I prevent early loss of lag? Well, they both go together, okay? So you look from this angle. I've got two tees here. You'll notice I have two objects all the way around. Two tees, two yellow balls, two pennies, and a ball and a penny, okay? Now, if I have two objects to go through, I necessarily have to stay more forward when I'm doing that. So you'll notice that when you default to the ball and you lose your target, you lose sight of your target, what happens, because the sole of the club is sitting on the ground, the ball is above the ground. So your brain says, well, if you want to hit the ball, we need to stand up. Now, because you're standing up, you'll have to extend early so that you don't miss the ball. So they kind of both go hand in hand. Now, if I'm swinging through to a target and my extension is out there, let's have a look at that in slow motion here. So, going to the target, going to the target, going to the target, going to the target. See that? See how low I've got to stay to be able to get through at least one golf ball, if not two? Whereas, this, going to the ball, aha! See how I have to stand up more, and I have to extend earlier, stay down, extend toward the target. See how much lower I have to stay to go to the target? Especially if I've got two objects to swing through. So the first one I want to show you is the two tees. The reason why I like both tees is that it feels very much like a grass whip. You remember, if you go back to my grass whip video, your golf club is a glorified, the hosel doesn't create enough, too much drag through the grass. So I set up between the head and give it a nice whipping cut. So notice how I'm cutting through both tees. When you're cutting grass, you don't cut one blade of grass, you cut a whole section of grass out. Therefore, you're going to stay much lower. So you kind of don't go down to the blade and then nip the blade and stand up. It doesn't make any sense, does it? So now, if you're using a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, you'll be able to do that 2-ball drill. So go back to my video that's 2-ball drill or 2-ball drill revisited. And so now I want to stay down long enough to get through both golf balls. Going to the target, here we go. The ball meets the club face, compresses it against the face. It'll feel like the ball is going to start off over the second ball to the right side of it. Then the club continues down and through the second one. So let's get this straight here. When you're looking down at your ball, you should see your ball and a 3-dimensional divot in front of the golf ball. Most of you look down at the ball and you see ball and flat ground. That's mostly the reason why you tend to stand up and not continue through the golf ball. So you got ground, you got grass growing out of the ground, and you got the ball sitting on top of the grass. The club comes down, catches the ball, then cuts the grass lower, meets the ground, cuts across the ground, then leaves the ground, then leaves the grass. So if you look at low point, coming down, catch the ball, then I start cutting grass. Now I meet the ground here, exit ground, exit grass. So my second ball is almost at my exit point. Now, because I'm hitting off a mat, it's easy to get through. If I was hitting on grass, it'd be a different story. So you want to do this on a nice cushy mat, like the Real Feel golf mats that I promote on my website, okay? So I promote those for a reason. I don't do that very often for people, and these are amazing mats. So here we go. Nice weight on my grass whip. These are 2 dandelions in disguise, and I'm going to cut through both stems of these dandelions. Here we go. And you'll be amazed at how much lower and through the ball you're going to stay to get through that second ball. Now, what I like also is what we do a lot with our students here. We have, and it's amazing, they'll top a few shots. These are for our beginner students. We'll put a couple of pennies down, and they clip the pennies perfectly. The sole of the club brushes across, and they go ahead and they cut through 2 pennies like it was nothing. And they go, wow, that was easy. So then we put a ball down and a penny, and we tell them, listen, there's a penny underneath that golf ball. You don't see a golf ball there. Can you see the penny beneath the ball? And they go, yeah. Okay, so now let's see you cut through both pennies again. And all of a sudden they start nailing the ball. So your central nervous system must see the correct picture and must have the correct idea on how the tool is designed to be used. Then things start to happen really nicely. If you're trying to, hey, you know, I've been losing my posture, I got to think about keeping my posture. That's not going to work, because while you're busy thinking about your posture, you're forgetting about your target. You're not releasing through to your target. Therefore, you will default to the ball. So after you finish thinking about your posture, you default to the ball and you're back to square one. Okay? So enjoy that. We'll talk about it in the forum. See you in the next video.